in the semi-finals. It is iCE Climbers versus Sleep to Awake, and we are on Claws of all people, and he has the rail in hands.
We didn't get predictions into this one. I can't honestly predict who's going to win, but I can almost guarantee we're going to have a 3-2.
I'm thinking 3-2 Sleep to Awake if you're going to push me, but again, that backs up my my overall finals predictions. So
gotta stick to your guns then. You're
exactly.
kind of locked into that victory.
I'm consistent.
Or into that choice. Talks to get the kill on a Claws towards Mega. Mega has 8 HP left, so he's trying to do as much damage as possible before he does fall here. There's no real reason he should be able to escape this, and there you go. Finally, he will go down. Claws suicided. He fell off the map because he was using machine gun against Ron. So that was definitely him jumping off the map or being knocked off the map. Either way, he did fall, unfortunately. And so far, not a lot of control around rail as like I was expecting between these teams. That's been kind of the story of Awoken over the course of this tournament. Lockdown rail room.
They almost play further around that because they seem to know what already happens between the two teams when they fight for that area. So the fights kind of take places in sometimes peculiar areas. And I think it's just down to the amount of hours they've got between each other. So it's, I don't know, I'm going to have a skin deep analysis about the fights between them.
It's the adaptation of the adaptation.
Yeah.
Like, they know the other plays, they sit around rail rooms, so then they're both now saying, all right, we'll play not around rail room anymore to counter that. And so far, we do have an early lead for iCE Climbers. Keep in mind, they haven't played a match today. They went straight to semifinals out of groups, out of day 2 of groups. So not necessarily as warmed up, but then again, whenever I walked around after a match and looked at Talks, he was playing FFA, and I never saw him lose.
You wouldn't expect it though, would you?
I mean, he probably pulled off like 350 O's in the time he had.
Well, we are coming up to the first power-up in just a moment. We have got, well, a bit of a 1v1 right now, but it is going to be Silenceup who takes control of that. Still 10 seconds to go. Tox is now advancing, has Nailgun, rockets. Silenceup still with the totem, but gets pushed back a fair bit. 1 second left. Is there anyone else? That's going to be a no. Claws gets the first quad of the series.
As you talked about being the anchor, Silenceup pulled the aggro towards him, which allowed Claws, who already died before, to come back in and save his life. He's got heavy. He's got a decent enough stack to work with, but can he actually close the distance he needs to cash out on them? He gets eaten by a rail. He's still healthy enough to actually fight this, and also has Silenceup's totem to keep him alive. 10 to 10.
Oh, lovely wall clips. Such awesome movement from Claws. Great speed, and with good control of that movement, you can get around the corners very quickly with a nice clip.
It's, I think something Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man: with great power, or great movement comes great power and great responsibility.
I concur wholeheartedly. Nevertheless, I'll stick with Claws because I was watching this guy play behind his back earlier, and it's absolutely magic watching his style. And his LG tracking is second to none. He's trying to go in for some now, but he's already gone into a 1v1 encounter. Ron eventually able to take him down, albeit with a little less health than he'd like. But Mega, can he hold off against Claws? That's going to be no. Tox comes in though for the refrag, and Silenceup holding anchor again. Probably a common word here around rail area.
Ooh, that was a nice little bounce there, and Claws gets the double against Silenceup off to the side. Helping out Claws to frag in the way he needs to. Is he trying to bait? Is he trying to bait Mega? Because he's playing super slow here. Maybe the call was made that they're both over towards rail, so he's just waiting. But you can see his eyes were turned towards LG's side.
Just a quick look. We have got Tox, by the way, who's gone back over to Visor, so it looks like I mean, they're switching things around a bit, but I guess that's what they're used to playing versus Sleep to Awake.
I mean, they might switch later on. It's a best of 5, so there's always opportunity to switch if it's not working. Claws gets, again, another kill. And Zeron coming in from behind. We're going to have protection up in 5 seconds, and not everyone's there. I think it's going to be Tox actually not in the vicinity. Zeron pulls off the 1v1 and gets the 1v2. And that protection will be taken by him, but he will rightfully so suicide over to Tox. And now the machine, the man, the myth. Can he get kills? He gets the first. He's looking for that second. Does spot out Silenceup over towards rail. He's going to actually have a 1-on-2 here. And he gets the frag. The read into Silencep's movement just shows how much they played against each other. And he'll get the second frag, tying things up, and might actually take the lead off of this.
He's been pretty tame this tournament, I think, but now maybe his skill can start to unravel a little bit. Going up versus his comrades. Having a brilliant power-up run, managing to just about take the lead when they were a few frags down, in fact.
The weird thing about that was, it wasn't like necessarily him doing amazing with the power-up, but Sleep to Awake also pushed him when they didn't really need to. They fed him kills when they could have ran.
There was definitely some unnecessary pushes there, but Toxic, he's able to combat it. Easy LG for him. John does suicide. The Tox getting a refrag on Claws, who would have caused that. Now they're going to have to fight back. We're almost halfway through like the amount of kills you can get on a game, and it's 5 minutes into the match. It is so quick paced, this game.
We do have power up coming up in 48 seconds. Again, Tox. He hasn't died in such a long time. Currently sitting at 13 frags, but this life has paid dividends with the amount of kills he was able to get and damage done.
Solid from Silence. Let's give him a little bit of camp time. See how he's doing. He's not super strong right now. I think he might get taken down by Zorona Claws, helping him out. But he is going to be crying for health. There's a HP bubble. Mega plus Totem. Going to help out a lot, but Mega was going to go to his mate Claws.
And we got...
Oh, no, it's not. It's just spawned out.
Yeah, just spawned in. But we got 18 seconds before our quad spawns in. And know it, we have the comms of iCE Climbers as they set up for this.
Dead. I'm 8 HP.
Coming from Mega side.
They both here. I'm Visor 100. He's healed now. He's on rail. $44 Mega. He's on banana going Mega.
They got heavy now.
Yeah.
Hard is still there. Pushing trap.
That was a disgusting rail through the teleporter.
I was going to say, it's like, oh, they only got 1 kill off quad, and then he kills 3 people in quick succession. That was insane.
It's going back and forth a lot this game. And just by power up by power up, Sleep to Awake getting the last one, now taking the lead steadily, getting good control of the map. iCE Climbers going to have to fight back. But, you know, it's quads right now for Sleep to Awake and protections for iCE Climbers. I think they'd rather switch that around if possible.
Yeah, if they could, potentially. Have a 1-1 trade against Ron, hitting the shots. Scoreboard. Really Claws is having an outstanding game with 22 frags to the 13 of Silence Up. And then Zorona and Tox more equal, 17-14. So kind of both really shining here, but Claws is having a lot of moments of brilliance, and that's what kind of scares me, is that I think out of all 4 players, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the high end of their skill and aim, I think, goes to Claws as being the leader.
Yeah. Narrowly. The thing is, you've got Tox on the 7. You can never count them out of these things, but I think right now in Quake Champions, I would put Claws marginally above, but it's incredibly, incredibly close between the two.
Protection up in 8 seconds. We've seen, what, the last one go over to the side of iCE Climbers. Well, this one as well. Claws does pick up heavy, gets the kill onto Zron. We already talked about his point-blank rails and the pressure he's under. I swear he has no emotions, and he's going to be given protection, even though he's not full on HP.
Should be able to hold on though. It's a 1 versus 2 from Tox. He doesn't really want to be there. Zron does take down Silence Up. Claws coming to avenge his fallen friend. LG eventually finding the mark there. And it's now 9 frags ahead. They're closing in on map 1. It's the map that they picked, so absolutely necessary that they lock it down.
The stack Claws still maintains the shots he's hitting. Zron giving him the angle twice in a row. Claws.
What is this damage that he's dealing right now? It's ludicrous.
His DPS has to be insane. It honestly does. I mean, now they're 3. They were 9 frags in the lead. Now they're 11. And they're 3 frags away from closing out this first map before the 10-minute mark.
I think it's really the power up. They got 2 in a row in the last run. Claws continues to do ridiculous damage. Finally, Tox is able to do something about him, but the damage has already been done. He goes back into one of Silence Up's totems. They're coming in for a 2 versus 1. And that should be Zron falling, Sleep to Awake, taking the first map, hitting the frag limit and hitting it quickly as well.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the faster times we've had. I think they sped run that map.
They must have.
This is an AHGQ. I don't know why they're doing that. But 50 to 38.
Well, the frags are easy to remember because everyone on the server got 19 frags apart from Claws with 31. And I heard from him a little bit after his games earlier. It's like he wasn't super comfortable with what he was hitting. He was hoping to be hitting a bit more. I think now he's starting to reach a level he's going to be more satisfied.
I mean, if you compare all the teams they've had to play, I think they're going to be most comfortable. I think this is actually probably the best side of the bracket for them because they would rather play Toxin Drawn than play Liquid in the semis. It's a team they practiced against so many times.
You say that, but I know that they would want to meet each other in the finals only.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
So
that's for a different reason, though.
Yeah, true. It's in terms of actually how comfortable you would be with playing against a team. I think they'd be comfortable playing against each other. As I think
even same for Liquid.
For the glory of you
of
and for their own kind of like internal friendships and everything.
And to disprove Death.
Yeah, precisely. But you know what? Death was half right. We've got an NA team in the final, so. Well, not all dreams came true, but some for him.
He seems so...
Shout out to Death.
So confident, so proud about that. We are going to be going to Runes of Sarnath next, though. Again, frag limit should almost guaranteed be hit between these two. Do you think that was a map that... I mean, it's even hard to say. Do you think that's a map that favored Sleep to Awake? Because both teams have, like, identical map pools.
Yeah, well, apparently when they were in their early practices, these kind of small maps, particularly, say, Corrupted Keep, which I'll put into a sort of similar sort of tier as Awoken, it really favored Zron and Tox, and maps like Ruins and Blood Covenant really favored Silent Step and Claws. Okay. But through practices, it's kind of gone the other way now, completely, for reasons unknown, but that just happens to be their style. So the map picks that they have are slightly kind of reflective of that.
Okay, so then where would you put Runes for this, for the way these two teams have performed in this tournament? Do you think this is a 50-50, or do you think this is going to lean towards one team?
I
think it should lean towards iCE Climbers, but I currently think that actually Sleep to Awake is a stronger team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take this and the next one and go 3-0.
So 3-0, wow.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a 3-2.
I'm hoping for a 3-2 as well, but I feel... that right now in the practice and how the two players are together, I think Silent Step and Claws are gelling together better. They've known, it's not even just in the game, outside of the game. They've been best friends for about 6-7 years or so, and I think their relationship is always, you can almost see it in the game in terms of their support.
Well, we're about to drop into Runes of Sarnath. It's going to be another crazy match. We're going to see almost guaranteed some insane rails out of all players and some ridiculous quad runs. Like right now, we're along with Silent Step, they're going to take heavy. And iCE Climbers will be taking Mega away from them. Silent Step no weapon just yet. The Claws, he's got the LG, and to be honest, he's probably just as deadly with the machine gun. He's probably just as deadly with the gauntlet.
I'd love to see it. I wouldn't put it past him. And I think Silent Step even let him get both the weapons first. It's like, just take them, man. I know what you can do. LG is fighting a pretty tough angle there, so holding that position is not going to be favorable. Claws does manage to stay alive and continue to stack up. It's a lot of health and armor Toxin Drawn to be dealing with, but here comes the attack towards Rockets. Oh my god. What are these rails? Going over the LG now, that's going to be Zron melting away.
These pixel shots out of him, honestly, just really proving how damn good of a player and how damn good of an aimer he is. Be able to really do much more off this LG, but he's constantly poking away at them. You know, if you were to actually look at all the players in the world, do you think Claws has its highest damage output?
I think so. I mean, who knows the real numbers, but you just get that feeling when you're watching him play, and yeah, you see the style behind it. I wouldn't be able to justify it for anybody else.
And I think one thing we have to keep in mind on this map is not only the Galenas and how it comes down to who has the most totems down, which currently Silent Step does have 3. I think a lot of it comes down to the visors and how many piercing sights they can get off. Where's the emphasis? Is it going to be at the hourglasses for them? Or are they going to play more for the team here and kind of group up? And I think both of them are actually going to be constantly keeping these hourglasses on cooldown.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to want to have that piercing sight as often as possible. Silent Step definitely wanting to stack some totems around the map. He really loves putting them in awkward positions and being able to call out the Claws. You can go heal up over XY location. We have got the power-up spawning in a moment. Silent Step is incredibly weak. It's been a small frag advantage for Sleep to Awake lately, but it is going to be Tox who steals away the quad damage, and finally they can get themselves a little bit more into the map when it really seemed to be the Claws show early on.
The thing is, he's not super healthy, so it's going to be very difficult for him to do this. really get much more. Nailgun being spammed down. He's still unable to chase onto any member of Sleep to Wake. And you can see Zron off to his side, trying to make sure he does stay alive. And if he does die, he can pick this up. And if anything, Claws and Silence have come out with the frag lead in this exchange.
How are they pushing this? Tox has quad and they're forcing him to run back. He didn't get anything from the quad just after the immediate pickup of it. That's insane that you can force Tox to give you that much respect. Tox and Zron.
I think it was just the amount of damage he did take when he got quad. He didn't have Mega off the back, and I think that's going to be Sleep to Wake realizing he's so weak. He's going to have to keep retreating from us. If we just keep pushing him, there's nothing he can do to escape. 4 totems down for Zron, though. That's massive for them if they can just use those to heal up constantly, and he picks up the 2-for-1 exchange to tie things at 8 apiece.
There's the LG again. He did manage to get himself a totem kill onto Claw, so he'll get the double from that.
I could just hear him in comms. Easy.
Nice to see Zron also getting a small highlight for himself. He's a guy who's playing at such a high level in Quake Champions right now, and he is incredibly determined in this tournament.
30 seconds to go before protection does come back up. Oh, yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
Sorry, buddy.
And Zron gets a kill. I think, you know, if you're closer, you probably die relatively soon, unless you can imagine yourself getting fully healed before protection. And speaking of claws, we do have Sleep to Wake's comms, so let's just tune in and hear what's going to happen.
Heavy up, Visor there on Sleep.
Got it. Action.
Visor there. I did Mega up.
Also dead.
He's in the rocket. Visor there on rail. Person coming to us.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, heavy now. They're getting heavy. Going Elgon.
One eye. One eye going to back secret.
Yeah. Protection rail.
Okay. -100, I think Galena.
Heavy.
Zron's movement, holy crap. Honestly, it's a thing of beauty. And he's actually having his own highlight reel now yet again here on Rings of Sarnath. They have a 7 frag lead just like that.
That was really, really nice protection from
Oh
him.
my god.
He's getting so much totem damage as well. They seem to be constantly walking into them. It's almost the flip reverse of what we had beforehand, trying to get a little bit of nailgun damage out in J-spot. Sadly goes down. Let's go over to Tox a bit. He's got himself mega health. He's got piercing sight. Most of the weapons that he needs, running out of LG ammo, but a small midi to finish that one off.
I do like the delay though, just to make sure he can guarantee the kill. See the trajectory, where his opponent's gonna go. He's got no life, but you know what? He's got the damage. Sunset will finally take him down, but the exchange still gonna favor iCE Climbers as they are now approaching 10 frags in the lead. Quad up at 20 seconds here, Zoot. This is gonna be so important for, I think, Sleep to Wake to stop this game from rolling away from them.
I find it hilarious that Science just let him take both rails. It's like, no, you need that much because you'll survive. Science and Claw, they need to start moving over. They're going to split a little bit. Claw's going to go from below. Sunset goes up the bounce pad, but still hasn't done bad for himself. He even gets the frag onto Tox somehow, and Zron goes down. I don't know how that happened. Going up that bounce pad, you should be dead every single time.
I like the position that Tox is in too, to read into that, to catch him off guard. And they split up, so we had a 1v1, and so did Zron, but Zron came over to help out Tox. Claw's not super healthy. He's going to have piercing sight up with this quad. He's going to have heavy to use too, but he's got to close this distance. And I don't know if he's going to be able to pick up any more than this.
I spotted them over at Tribolt. This might have a single second to go, but he realizes I can't push through the teleporter. Even if you have quad, it's like you're probably walking into rockets or some sort of focus fire.
Even if you have protection, I'd still be hesitant to push through that when you know they're both there. And you know the damages they can do. There he goes, Zron, able to get a nice double kill there. Simons's able to respawn back. The heavy gonna spawn in, and Tox does steal it away at least. So yes, he does die, but he does prevent Claws from getting it.
Let's see it. Signs up with a small totem. Hid behind that 25 health level. Claws going in, does manage to land the rail. Trying to get at least some damage going with that piercing sight, but left still a little weak.
Okay, coming back up, and Claus actually has him separated. Oh, I don't know if he knows about that. Goes for the rail, though. Not going to be able to hit that shot.
Tough angles
Yeah,
here.
very.
Oh, Tox with a really nice rocket from down below. That's going to extend the lead a little further. Oh my, what? That Tri-Ball did about 200 damage just then. Silence and Claws all of a sudden are able to invade the power-up room, and with 20 seconds for it to spawn, they might want to hold the position relatively soon. Oh, killing Zron, finding where Tox is.
I think what's going to be nice for the team who doesn't get power up is that Mega's 6 seconds behind the protection. So either the person's going to waste 6 seconds waiting for Mega, or they're just not going to get it at all. So it makes it more viable to kill. His Sunset has a lot of HP, and he's going to wait for Mega. So that gives time now for Zron Tox to run away to create some distance to prevent themselves from losing any sort of lead that they do have.
For sure, they've lost out on a couple of power-ups in a row now. They've got a fragile lead. It's definitely not secure. Sunset, he sees Heavy, but he's like, I'm not going to go for it. I want to get some kills of some sort, but nothing is being found at all.
It reminds me of Cypher Avic when Cypher had the quad and he waited for Heavy instead of chasing, and they ended up losing that by 1 frag. Claus does get the return. I mean, technically that protection didn't really net many kills either. So it's not like you're getting a giant lead off of an item. It's not like you get even a guaranteed lead or to close in that gap.
It was like 1 closer at that stage. Claus has managed to get a 1v1 versus Ron and brought another frag closer. Being the larger map is definitely a slower pace down on Awoken. I can still see it getting to 50 at this stage. Claus finding the health bubbles, getting that energy back. Does need a bit of LG. I say that, he's going to land 180 damage, looking for another royal over the top. Now he's being targeted by 2 players, so trying to isolate the target somehow, but they've actually fled completely.
Still leaving him low HP is going to be frustrating for Claus, especially now with Sunset going down. It's not like it's going to be easy for him to fully stack up back yet again. I would love to know how often, or on average throughout this map, that an item is actually up in terms of like small health bubbles and hourglasses. I feel like they're always constantly picking them up, and I feel like they're almost like even timing them like they're timing Mega or Heavy.
Oh, of course. Well, they're going to know the rotations on them, with all of them being respawning after 30 seconds. It's certainly something that they'll be able to keep a tally of, not too uncomfortably. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a constant rotation there. Claus moving in, LG with piercing sights. Ron's going to die. That is going to be 2 frags between them and an incredibly decisive quad. Now, Tox, great trap from him with the nail gun.
He's trying to dodge these rockets. He's going to drop right on towards quad. No one's going to be able to pick it up just yet. Sunset gets the kill, but Zron's going to be there. And Zron gets fragged out by the rail out of Claus. Now he's got the quad. He's pushing through. He spots that one. That's Tox going down. And that lead the iCE cLIMBERS had has been completely dwindled down to just 1 frag. They'll have Heavy. He's impossible to kill now, I'd say, unless they do get a nail gun spam onto him. But again, they're trying to disengage. They're trying to run away. They're trying to minimize the amount of damage.
Someone's going to die over here. This is going to push up. Both of them are surely going to melt. That's going to be 2 easy LG frags. And a lead as well, Jason.
I might even say 2Z frags for Claus. That was perfect. That was really good, actually. You can see what Claus can accomplish. Oh, again, I talked about earlier on, I think in our first game, about just double railing from lower T whenever you don't have positioning around quad, and you could see, like, if you hit those rails, as Ron thought you almost had quad guaranteed, it can really punish the enemy team.
I think we talk about those crucial rails to hit from lower T. Put someone like Claus in charge of the rail, and I think your chances are going to be going up quite a lot.
Still all tied at 36 apiece, though.
Oh my god. Only chance for Zron to get 1 nail out, and he still gets railed by Claus. Tox comes to the refrag. Fight over at Mega Health. Ansep is going to be able to take it. Switching to any weapons Ron can. Maximize his damage. Both of them kind of up the T area. Surely going to ask for Tox for some help. Where's Tox at? Well, he's gone over towards the rocket area, looking to get some damage from behind, but they're picking him off from multiple angles now. Sleep to Wake have taken a 2 frag lead, and we're getting to some incredibly important power-ups.
They're picking up steam, honestly. They're starting to get better and better as this map goes on, or maybe just iCE cLIMBERS are getting worse and worse. I say it's former of those 2, though, because Sleep to Wake is hitting almost every shot they're dishing out that you see right there with the nail gun. Speaking of power-ups, 6 seconds to go. Tox going to get a crucial kill to silence up. Where's going to be Claus, though? Well, it's going to be him taking down Tox. Now Zron, he's got to come in. You can see Protection's now up. He does a good 40 damage to him, but I feel like he's going to be relatively healthy. No!
Oh.
Suicide! Oh, they miscommunicate between each other! And Tox is going to get a crucial kill onto Silent Step to allow him to pick up Protection.
Let's go find him. I think he was trying to play that really fluidly and get him to picking up almost like mid-action, so that he could have it while he may be having 100 health left. And it's just that miscommunication, that could end up costing them the game. But they get totem damage. Tox is under a lot of pressure, and there's another totem there. How have they managed to work that out?
A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Zron now going to be focused down on the 1-on-2. And iCE Climbers have run away with this game. 5 frags in the lead. Time is starting to run out. So it's time for iCE Climbers to prevent themselves from being knocked out of the whole tournament. Sleep to Wake could be up 2-0 and on match point.
These are two of the only players in the world right now who aren't afraid to challenge someone with protection, almost irrespective of the stack that they have. And you can see why, because they seem to make it work for themselves with their phenomenal damage output.
40-45. This next quad, if iCE Climbers actually can stop the rot and stop feeding over deaths, or feeding over kills, this quad could actually get iCE Climbers the jump, the boost they need to take this map right under the nose of Sleep to Awake. They have to be so careful about every position, every move they make. It's so crucial right now.
I'm going to stick with Tox now. He's looking for air rockets. Nail gun would have been far more optimal for him there. He's done about 15 damage and he's gone down. Claws is bringing them within 3 frags of the victory and hitting another important rail. Oh, the totem! It's not yours, Claws. Zron getting what could be a very important kill, but in some sense, actually, you could say, was he trying to run into it deliberately? Because there's 10 seconds until the quad. He's got the fresh spawn stack. It inadvertently could be really good.
Needs to help out. Zron's by himself against 2. Tox has to come huge. He has to get these kills, but no, he's not able to. They both fall. And now, Sleep to Awake are 1 map away from meeting Team Liquid in the finals here at Dreamhack Tours.
They're doing really well right now. I said it was like an off-the-cuff kind of prediction, but they're 2-0 right now. It could be happening.
But what a better way to end the semifinal with a 3-map streak, 3-map run back out of Tox and Zron.
It could happen still. I wouldn't rule them out because these guys have been kind of conquering the European scene for a while. But Claws and Silent Step, they're a bit more under the covers. They only really showed their faces very strongly at the Go for Quake Champions tournament where they beat iCE Climbers in the semi-final. But that was really one of the very few times we got to see them perform, bar very occasional Community Cup.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that preparation going to be enough, or is maybe Toxin's sort of slightly greater presence going to carry them through as well?
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to be moving into, I believe, Blood Covenant third, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And then we've already seen Claws and Tox on this map just prior against Cyber Fight, and that wasn't pretty at all. I think they won by like 25 frags or something ridiculous like that. This is going to be a tough one.
You know, I said at the start that who's stronger in which maps?
Yeah.
It's meant to be that iCE Climbers are stronger on Blood Covenant at the moment, but it was picked by Sleep to Awake as a third, so I'm kind of slightly confused by that. But it's certainly a map that can be highly competitive from both teams. They've taken it off it in the past. It's just the kind of recent trends, I guess.
Maybe they just felt good playing it because they already played Cyber Fight on it. Because they played Cyber Fight on Awoken as well. I can't remember the other map for the life of me right now.
Blood Run as well.
Was it Blood Run? Okay, yeah. So maybe it's just playing like they felt confident enough already against Cyber Fight.
Yeah.
Good map under their belt. Maybe play it again because they felt like they played that extremely well, which they did. But this is going to be tough. Like Zron and Tox, they're on the back foot now. They played how many tournaments online, offline together, or not necessarily together, but in general, they've been in this situation before. It's going to be a tough comeback, and you know if they do run this back 3 maps in a row, they're going to be exhausted mentally and physically to meet against Team Liquid.
That's right. It's not going to be too long after this match that we will head over to the grand final. Again, it would be a best of 5. But Sleep to Awake right now, they have dropped 1 map in the tournament already. They did drop the Blood Run.
Virtus Pro,
yeah, exactly. But I know that they spent a lot of time last night strategizing over it. So if this map happens to go over to iCE Climbers, Blood Run would be the 4th. I know that they would have something different set up for that.
Well, about to load into game here. I'm actually curious to see if Tox and Zron do switch. I mean, if they're going to throw out something funky or something tricky, they might as well do it now. We're about to drop into Blood Covenant. This could be the last map here of our semifinals to lead us into the grand finals. iCE cLIMBERS, they have to fight back. They have to come back strong, and already Silent hits the rail into Zron to give him the first frag of the map.
I love how he's almost got an easier target above him, but he's like, I'm going to go focus fire with claws and make sure we at least secure the frag, and then we can work from there. I can't believe he went up that, but there was the piercing sight there that was going to counter his play completely. Tox expecting a play like that from claws. He knows what he's like.
Oh god, there's two of them, and he does get one
Wow.
damage with the nail gun. You have to respect it.
Look at the jump over from Zron. Very, very surprised by that. Well, we haven't had that change between Zron and Tox in this matchup again, so maybe it's just a sort of a brief thought when they were playing versus Cyberfight.
Maybe. That's a nice shot. On a Silent he will fall though. And Tox ends up getting dropped by Claws. I like how Zron didn't kill that totem there to not give away his position just yet, so he could get a rail up onto Claws. A little smart thinking out of this man.
Something for you guys to be watching out for, which I'm sure you've already noticed, is how the rails are going to be on this map. These guys are incredibly strong with that weapon. Tox and Zron have previously played under the name that is Rail, so we know they like this a lot. Oh, we're going to get a mutual frag over there. We're going to check out Claws though. He is landing his rail straight away. Look, he's spotted. Tox up on the top. Has got himself the heavy, so he's looking for a 1 versus 2. Silent not there to help him. He still gets the rail off at the end. That makes him weaken. Silent running in for a flying sort of prediction shot.
Oof, that was a good rocket. Can't get second though. It's unfortunate from Tox in that spot too. When he was attacking Claws, he only had machine gun, he only had rocket. Rocket not going to be useful. If he had maybe rail, he could have saved Zron's life. But that's just kind of what you have to deal with when you don't have the weapons you need at that time when he did fall. Quads be picked up by Claws. He does eat a rocket. And he's going to shred through Toxic. So has the HP, and he's going to have Mega 2 to use. This is going to be tough now to focus fire on. Oof.
I was thinking for a second he was going to go for a flick rail of some sort, but he decided to play it safe, go with the lightning gun, secure that rapid fire hit scan damage. Oh, but he does get actually sandwiched from bridge and power up spawn. So let's go see. It is Tox who has it with only 17 health. Can't quite find the splash, and that is going to be quad wearing out.
I love how both teams against each other are so damn good at preventing the game from being like just taken away from them. Like whenever Claws gets quad, Zron and Tox die a maximum of like 2, maybe 3 times in that quad. They don't let them get that streak and they get momentum built up. It's really able to limit like what you can achieve with an item that normally could give you like 7 frags if you can reach up to it.
It's usually under that much pressure. It's so easy to allow that team to snowball as well. But because both teams are so confident with their combat skills, they are really able to continue challenging for the items together and build up on those refrags. These two teams prioritize refragging as being the only way forward in the game, making sure you're getting those positive exchanges. And when your opponent is weak after those fights, you want to go back to them as soon as you can to make sure you take advantage of their lower health.
100% true on that one. And with the rails they can hit, if anyone's low HP, it's very, very easy to pick them off. Tox able to fully heal back up almost at this rate. It's a kill and a Claws. It's a great shot of him. I'm going to go with the LG, and he turns that into a 2-for-0, giving them the 1 frag lead. Protection up in 18 seconds. Piercing sight could potentially be there. Maybe gets one more hourglass, but he's gonna fall.
Claws over there versus Ron. It is a 2-for-1 in favor of
there.
Awake.
They're gonna misjudge how much health Claws has, I think.
Oh my god, the tri-ball from Tox. And Zron comes in, managing to get the rockets onto Silent Sep, so Tox now has protection to work with. He might rocket jump over to get himself a rail or head down to LG, or neither, alternatively.
Trying to prevent Mega from being taken.
Come on, Tox.
Spamming away at it to actually limit the movement out of Silent Sep. He still has protection, but he's not going to go up the shaft. Hasn't really gotten a single kill with this so far. If anything, they've actually netted -1 because of Claws getting a kill onto Zron. Look at this, he's not afraid. He's like, he could literally run. He's not afraid to just LG versus LG against the protection.
The rocket does eventually land, and he is able to clean up Silent Sep as well. I'm curious how much health Zron has. 52, not too bad. Oh, Claws of the lightning gun. Tox looking for a way to get a little bit more health.
I don't know if your thoughts on that particularly. He could have gotten the rail, but maybe it would have made him overextend. He wasn't exactly sure where the enemies were, but he's still missing on the rail, and we've already seen what Tox can do with it.
No, they're not yours. It's hard to see while you're using piercing sight. He might slowly be heading for rail now, but it's under pressure. It's so difficult to grab that weapon when your opponents are looking at you, because they can just spam that with damage with so many different types of weapons. Ice Climbers are nursing a fragile lead, and Tox is just getting an overwhelming sense of paranoia with all these totems that happen to be appearing around him.
Still maintain the high ground as Ron pushes the lower. Maybe Tox wants to try to cut them off towards Bloodpool, and he does have a man towards LG, but here's a man towards Heavy. Should be a kill he gets on the claws, but not before taking 2 rails. And they're able to potentially to contest Heavy. I'm not sure where claws respawn. Actually, it's right on bridge. Perfect for them. And that should be claws get the 2.
Managed to find the nail gun straight away. He's going to push down. Enemy on LG. But going up to that mega health and picking up the item can't really push that. Need to start setting up for this run. What the hell was that position? Was he on the pillar?
Yeah, I think he either rocket jumped or got knocked up there. There's quad for Zron. Let's see what he can do with this. They're up 6 frags, and they need every single one of them at the moment. 110 HP. Got to totem up in a second.
He's done good damage.
So brave out of both teams to just challenge. It's quad protection, they don't care.
He's kind of letting Tox just get on with it with the guy on bridge. He hasn't got, there's no way he could rocket jump there, even if he had rockets. Completely destroy himself. Finds Silence Up, not going for the ammo. He's going for glory here with the frags.
It's the biggest lead we've seen in the game between these 2 teams. No matter what map it is, 9 currently between the 2. Zron starting to feel really comfortable, it seems. 17 kills for Claws, Silence Up at 5. 15 apiece for Zron and Tox.
They have built some leads for themselves, especially in the previous map with Ice Climbers, so I'd really like to see them just hold on to this, keep it tight. Don't change your game plan just because you've got an advantage like this. Try and keep it going to the end.
Well, speaking of them and their lead, even though protection's not up for 50 seconds, let's actually listen into their comms and hear how the communication between the 2 players is going.
Go ahead, Rail Mega still. She's going plat. Getting heavy.
Yeah.
1 lower, I'll pack him up. Nice.
I see 1 rocket.
He will rocket jump to rail. Dead. 1 more rail, Galena. She's 2nd floor now. Nice.
Mega.
Galena 60 on bridge stairs. Let's go protection. 0-4 power up.
Doors dropping down. Is that cool?
Oh, guys, we have got protection now. Zron just getting it, but only 8 health to go. Just to know on those comms, I love how Zron called out that they're going to rocket jump over to rail now, and not even half a second later it happened. He knows exactly how those opponents are going to play.
I get like the patience out of Toxic in the fight at Rocket Launcher. Just waiting for him to land so he gets the guaranteed 100 and then gets the follow-up shot. I got very low from it, actually ended up killing himself, but he got the guaranteed kill instead of potentially missing out and losing his life. They have a fantastic lead. I mean, you talked about Blood Covenant now going towards the way of Ice Climbers in their recent scrim results against each other, and we're seeing it 13 in the lead.
It's a lot.
It's their map to lose.
Yeah, it is a lot right now. We're still relatively early given the amount of time left in the game. So sleep to wake. They're going to want to make a hard push for quad, but between now and then, they've got to minimize the amount of frags that they're suffering too. I'm going to watch Claws, as he's going to be an important factor in whether or not this comeback is achievable.
Oh, that would have been pretty. He's got Pearson's sight ready. Nice little rail there for 80 damage. Knows that Mega is now taken, so he has to time out another 100. Doing some really good work here.
Got a stack. And I wonder if they want to go for the next heavy, because it does spawn before power up by about 10 seconds, but it's touch and go as to whether or not they'd be able to get a position afterwards. They might want to set up early now and hope they can keep it, because Mega's going to come up shortly. Oh, little mini flicks from him. Absolutely superb.
Oh, he knocks her on into it.
Rockets are absolutely tight though. He's Gonna get himself another health bubble, destroying a totem. Even if he doesn't know if it hits, it's just I'm getting rid of it no matter what. Knows exactly where Zron is. Rocket on him. It's a direct follow-up as well. He's got himself the quad. Does die with it, but Silencer is able to pick it up.
Kills Zron before he even has a chance to react. Waiting for that armor to respawn back in. Still down 10 though. And with him just waiting to restack, it's not like he can build up a lot of momentum to get kills and to kind of close this lead. A lot of time wasted on the quad already.
Yeah, brilliant time to follow up there. He's hoping that there's some information he can get. He receives some machine gun damage. Here's the nail gun, but he can't quite land the rail. Looking for some spam for him to walk into, but not happening. They're wasting time, and okay, that rocket met him in the face. And at least if he can't get the quad kills, we can get that. And Claws is also getting some nice things to happen as well. We're 8 between each other. It's still not over. We've got 2 more power-ups to go. Sunset and Claws are just going to be tremendously careful.
Gotta keep that maximum effort going, because if you slip up just a little bit, Sleep to Work are gonna punish you for it. Only 7 now between the two. Previously 13 before that last quad. And Claws and Sunset haven't died in actually quite a long time. It's a great read there out of Thrawn.
What was that? The tri-ball did an insane amount of damage. His stack completely melted, and now Zron's picked up another. Now they're building themselves very close to the frag limit. Those few moments there where Silence have just lost all of his stack, that was very, very important. He needed to hold on somehow, but you just can't predict moves like that from Zron. The damage is crazy.
Oh, I mean, even though Zron did die, that was a great shot with the rocket to take Claws with him. 1-for-1 trades are always going to favor the team in the lead, especially with where they are at 47. And Sleep to Wake now down 11 yet again after closing the gap to just, I believe, 6. Looks like it's just a little bit too late. Ooh. If that was a kill, I would have screamed. Protection up 3, Mega up at 1. And I think that's almost going to like guarantee a victory here for iCE Climbers, especially with them now being at 49.
Yeah, it's just a formality at this stage. He's heard a totem go off. Lightning gun there onto Silence Up. It is going to be another map that we'll be getting. iCE Climbers get themselves on the board. It's still 2-1 for Sleep to Awake. But now maybe it is getting interesting.
Maybe. Well, you talked about, before we went to this map, if we do get to a 4th, it's going to be Blood Run. And you were mentioning that Claws and Silence talked last night and made a plan and studied what went wrong for them against Virtus Pro.
I mean, it did go well for them versus Cyberfight, admittedly. I wasn't expecting them to get a dominant victory. But
I expect Cyberfight, yes, it's a little bit of a different beast.
Exactly, and they play completely different. The strategies are going to be different. I wonder if Zron and Tox watched the game they had versus Cyberfight, and they've got something of their own, or if they're just going to play it by the book that they've essentially written for themselves, and hope that that's going to do them justice.
Well, I think we can both say no one's really underperforming in this series.
No, all the players are looking great right now. I think in terms of aim and the shots the guys are landing, everyone is looking optimal, I'd say. But in terms of the coordination and the team synergy, I'm thinking Claws and Silence are still a little step ahead, and that demonstrated just by the first 2 maps.
I was actually surprised to see Blood Covenant end in such a discrepancy in frags, considering the first 2 maps were pretty damn close. I wonder what it is about that map that gave such a big lead to Zron and Tox.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I'd asked them, they would say Zron would tell me Tox rails, because Tox is all about that.
And Tox would say,
that would be, he would just stare into your soul through your eyes, and you'd know the answer just through that. No, with Blood Covenant, with Zron and Tox, both of them are, I think, on average, a little better than Claws and Silence on the rails side. On the LG side, I don't know. You only really talk about Claws in that instance.
Huh. Well, you mentioned Zron potentially going Visor, right?
Right.
They're both sitting on Visor at the moment. Typically, like, I mean, it's kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter, not in game, right? But he just switched from Glen over to Visor, so maybe
he was interesting.
Like in lobby, he switched. And
double Visor?
No, that's not possible.
We've had experience with that.
Tox switched to Galena.
Ooh.
So that switch might be coming into effect here on Blood Run. I mean, obviously they could switch back.
But this is like a mid-tournament strategy sort of update.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to pan out. I'm a little more skeptical.
Like against them with this. Or this is like their secret weapon. Like, yeah, you haven't seen us play this setup.
From what I've heard, it's not a secret weapon, but maybe they feel like it would be cool if it was. But I think it is really just how they want to be able to push. Zron wants to be quite aggressive with the piercing sights, and he feels that Tox is maybe a little bit too looking after his stack a bit too much, going for the health bubbles and stuff. And I think Zron really wants to push the boundaries a bit further and start going around corners, not carelessly, but when you've got the piercing sight, you can get the jump on your opponent pretty much 99 times out of 100.
So if you were to give me a prediction on this map, do you think we're going to 5?
I'll say it just because I want to go to 5.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I hope.
it's tough to tell. Again, we're gathering data at this LAN.
I mean, the
we
thing
don't
is,
really know how any of this is going to pan out.
Technically, we're gathering data for Liquid and Rafa too. The longer the series goes on, the more maps they get to see them play on, and the
exactly.
more chances they get to figure out what to do
Can we
against
get some
them.
information on every map, please?
Can you guys go 5 first, please, just so we can see the information on
We don't want any
maps.
surprises over here.
Yeah.
We are getting into game right now, guys. It is map 4 in the second semi-finals. We have got Sleep to Awake versus iCE Climbers. And again, as usual, on Claws to begin with. He's used a very early piercing sight.
They have actually gone for the swap. So it will be Zron over on Visor, and it will be Tox over on Galena. Just to kind of update you guys from lobby to game.
Just so you guys can see that. Yep, Zron.
Not lying.
Visor,
Yeah.
Tox Galena.
So relatively early pace, or slow pace so far. Only 3 frags. And well, quickly as I say that, it's going to be 4. Heavy's going to be up, and I was actually going to give it over to Soundsep as he's being pushed off the high ground from behind. These rails doing some serious work, honestly. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage coming out there. Oh, he tried to clear the totem before his teammate came through, but wasn't quite able to. I'm sorry, Claws, I let you down in that moment. And Claws has got piercing sight. It doesn't really matter how much health he has because he's still going to do a ton of damage. Let's check out the iCE Climbers a little bit. See if we can see any kind of advantage moving into the first power-up.
That rail, I mean, from that position, so difficult. Tron's not able to hit it. And look at this, Toxic keeping that LG out. Soundsep has to be so low on HP. So Zron probably gonna have another wipe from both teams before we do get into the power for 38 seconds.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think so. Zron's going to want to fight pretty damn surely. And do as much damage as you can and ideally die in the next 10-15 seconds, unless he wants to get an early setup. Does he want to use piercing sight now? Because he usually tries to save it. He's going to do it. Has got Mega. Maybe this is going to change his mind as to how he wants to play it, but actually Soundsep killing it at a time that he's perfectly happy for him to do. Now it's time to make a play for quad.
Toxic though, he's fully stacked. He's actually overstacked on armor. He's going to try to push in here. Totem goes down relatively early. Now it's going to be 1v2, but Soundsep's going to be there. And Soundsep will get the kills where the respawn's at. Oh, he actually might have a chance to contest this. 1 second till it spawns in. He's got 3 totems down. Quad will be there. Looks like Soundsep will lock this one down. Oh, they actually might get from behind. They have a pincered. But he gets the first kill. He gets the LG kill onto Zron. He's on 39 HP. He gets Toxic down too. That could have been so deadly, and even donated over to Claus, who has the stack.
Well, that's 1 rail from Zron, which will hurt a little bit, but I like how quickly they are. They say, right, your stack is greater. You can look over the shoulder and find that out as quick as you like. They sacrifice at the point from the suicide, and then they just try to go forward as fast as humanly possible.
That's a big swing in kills just now for Claus and Soundsep. Up 11-9. That's without piercing sight. I think he had it up before, though, to actually see him coming that direction, so he knew maybe in the vicinity. Zron is hitting these rails.
Tox is right behind him to finish it off. Machine gun versus lightning gun. Tox is just about okay there. Again, hitting these rails, managing to deny the heavy being taken. That is going to be Zron picking up the extra armor. And Tox down below. You know what? They've swapped champions with each other. And Tox looks barely any different on Galena. He's looking absolutely brilliant.
I just wonder how he's using the totems, if it's for himself or if it's for Zron. Because Soundsep uses it obviously for Claws. And they obviously try to double heal off it when they can. He's currently got 2 totems down. Nogan just barely missing both members of iCE Climbers. But iCE Climbers still with the 1 frag lead, now up to 2. And we have protection up in 30 seconds. Now look at the window we have between protection, heavy, and mega. Mega, very viable to take, only 9 seconds. But the heavy is going to be the rough one. So if you're the team not getting protection, you immediately need to take that away, especially when it comes to its value getting doubled by the power.
Ooh. Awesome shot. Tox is doing fantastically. Yeah, for sure, whoever gets the protection is going to want to rush Mega shortly after.
Actually gave it, so no one took Mega and Tox gets the trade. So Zron's going to be there to secure protection. Where's he going to go off of this? He doesn't even have the HP, really, 42 health. Definitely wants heavy. He's not going to have a chance to get it. He's not going to have a chance to get Mega, I would imagine. No, Claws backed away. Sorry, Soundsep backed away. Claws backed into it. And he will finally have help as he rocket jumps in. He wants some frags. He wants to extend this lead. But these shots, Sleep to Wake, are constantly making every meter of distance he covers a hassle.
He's actually given up on that fight. He's like, I missed the early damage. My protection's wearing off soon. I don't want to go too crazy. Oh, Claws still manages to find that rail. He didn't even use Piercing Sight or anything. Raw aim for him there. It's just that face tanking that Rocket is trying to get the frag onto Toxic. And again, more rail shots at the bottom. Sees the mega, but Zron
had it Piercing Sight.
Yeah, it was, okay. I was going to say, a little bit too fast.
Thing is, I wouldn't put it past Zron to hit shots like that without Piercing Sight,
Exactly.
to be fair.
Oh, misses the follow-up. Needs to switch over to LG in this mid-range fight with Silent Set, but he's machine gun getting the better of him. Oh, back up the bounce pad. Silent Set knew that was going to happen. Now, continual support. A lot of nail gun happening on this map.
80. I think it's 100 he did to Zron just now. Toxic will get one kill, but quickly Silent Set on the return. We'll pick up Mega in that fight. Dodging out a couple of rails from Zron from the high ground. Zron's going to take down Claws, though. I really wish we knew the accuracy of the rails of these players, because all of them have to be 50% or above. 16 HP left for Silent Set. And caught up in 18 seconds, so Silent Set needs to die.
There we go, switch over to Tox. Just managing to get that double kill. Here's the position. A little bit later than we expect some people, but he goes in and they're not expecting him there. His damage has been good, but Claws with the double ends up killing himself. He wants to get a little bit more HP.
I thought actually Silent Set was going to hold on to the quad and let Claws respawn in and have a chance to be close to them. Unfortunately, well, for Claws, Silent Set does get it. But then again, Silent Set, you can't count out his damage either. Or his aim. Oh, man. Wait, was that double Zron or was that Zron Toxic that he killed?
I think Zron was at the end. Could be wrong there.
I was wondering if like Zron spawned and then ran into a totem on accident.
Oh, no. It was both. He killed both players.
Okay.
He's getting a lot right now. Almost the rail right at the end. Silent Set's brought this back decently. Healed up with the totem, and now he's feeling good to go in for an LG fight, but doesn't quite make it. However, I suspect he would have left a... Oh, well, Zron has just eventually died. See the Piercing Sight is like, I'm maybe not comfortable to challenge this, but Tox comes out regardless. Does he want to go through the teleporter? He does. There's nail gun behind him. Zron understanding what he's trying to do. Trying to bait out a rail shot before he jumps over to the heavy, just so he can get over a little more safely.
I was actually surprised to see Silent Set come through that teleporter when he already saw Zron was there.
It's a bit of a gamble. It didn't quite work out for him, but Silent Set and Claws have just taken the lead. They win this map, remember, they are in the grand final, and they'll be fighting versus Team Liquid.
There you go, Toxic gets another kill. This time the teleporter. Denying the heavyweight, it's going to be Zron, but he can't make the jump. I mean, if he's feeling really cocky, he could, but Claws is going to be there, eventually pick him off, and Tox won't be there to pick up the heavy either.
Let's go check out, guys, see what Sleep to Awake is saying leading up to this protection.
One from Rocket. Got me, 101.
I'm 3 HP, I'm 13 HP, I'm 13 HP. Heavy up, heavy up.
Attack if you can.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, got you.
One at rocket, one at rocket. Two at rocket. Rival. One coming stairs. Dead. One
Yeah, I'm
rival.
weak now. Yeah, I'm weak.
One tribal.
Okay. Two on that tribal, Jay.
Everything Gucci then on Sleep to Awake.
It's weird when you say it.
I can't really pull it off the same, can I?
Yeah, there you go, Silent Set.
Oh,
There you go, Toxic coming in with a nice double. Again, like every time I see like a power up for either team, I'm like, oh wow, they're gonna be so far in the lead when I look at the score, and it's actually like within 2 frags of each other.
It did look like Sleep to Awake were just storming away just then, considering the power-up run that Silent Set had. But yet it remains close. LG from Tox, brilliant player down to Sidestep. Now he's got the support of Zron. He's going to try and go for the refrag. Successful with that. Sidestep back behind him. Is it time to take the lead? Rockets can't quite work for him, but still a lot of pressure on.
Zron did clean up that kill though on a Sidestep, but he went for the teleporter. Toxic is trying to do some serious with the LG. He has double totems there next to him. And triple totems next to him. He has 4 totems down in general.
The hell? There's loads.
That's a lot of healing. They're going to misjudge how much health he has left. He's trying to protect his babies.
2 of them gotten rid of. iCLIMBERS fighting for their life over here. We have got quad damage coming up. We have 40 for 40. Tox can't quite hone in on that angle. Claws are suicided. He's looking for a spawn by Sidestep. There's 100 damage from Zron and another 100. Now Tox is with him just to land one more, and that could have been it.
That's the thing. You did 200 damage with rails, but because of that corridor, Nail Gun is so damn strong that you can't push through it. Claus gets the rail into the first. That's Toxic going down. The lead's going to be lengthened to 2. He's going to have Mega now. It's going to be impossible to kill him. Sidestep gets a frag onto Toxic as he goes through the teleporter. And just like that, Twig have a 3, now 4 frag lead. This is the last map for them. If they win this, they're in to play against Team Liquid. iCLIMBERS need to pull this one back.
It's so close right now. It's within touching distance. Can't quite find any more kills in the last seconds. Right after protection goes, it goes into an LG fight with Tox. Tox wins it, but Sidestep is right back at him. Now Zron pretty stacked with that heavy, but the amount of damage he's taken straight away cannot withstand it.
Can't give up any unnecessary frags anymore.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and fight their way over to protection somehow. They've got to slow the game down a little bit, somehow stick together. Right now they're on opposite sides of the map to each other. Tox fighting for his life, but he's 1v1, about to be 1v2. Totem spotted.
3 more to go. The thing is, they can't really even contest Heavy or Mega anymore. They can't afford to die. They need to group up, but they also know if they actually lose a 2-on-2 fight, then that means they're going to be 1 frag away from being knocked out.
I mean, I wonder if they've got to do something unusual for these 2 teams. Get a super early setup for the protection. Both the players are rushing in right now. They want to get the job done. Sidestep dies. He manages to kill Zron. Still 3 required. Make that 2 now. Claws goes in for 1 more. They could close it out before the protection even spawns.
Here's the side up. That's be Zron getting caught out. Zron goes down. It's on to the last man here. 49 for sleep, 2 awake. They know exactly where they are. They can't run. They can't hide. Claus is on his way. Or maybe not. Maybe he's jumping the gun a little bit as they head back towards protection.
Yeah, it's up there. They're going to set up for it. Play things standard. Didn't need to push into the room unnecessarily. That is going to be Sidestep going down. Claus is on his own, so pressure's going on him, but is his LG enough? It absolutely is. Sleep to awake, go 3-1 on iCLIMBERS. They're going to be playing Team Liquid shortly in the Grand